Hi guys, welcome to the channel. So this is going to be your New Year reading for 2021. I hope you've come through Christmas all okay. Weird one this year, certainly a difference. Hopefully you were still able to enjoy it despite all the weirdness, all the stuff that's been going on. So let's have a look to see what 2021 wants to bring to us. This will just be a snapshot, a general reading for everyone. No great detail as such. If you want more detail about you and your personal life for what 2021 will bring you, there's information about that in the description box. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you're not new, whether you're new or returning, please hit the like and share buttons so this moves up in the algorithms. And welcome to all new subscribers to my channel, especially those of you who are coming across or watching from my dailies, which I do, the daily shorts. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So let's have a look to see what 2021 has in store for us going ahead. So let's have a look. Using the Mystic Mondays Tarot, which is appropriate because on the day of recording this is a Monday. So let's have a look. Okay. And each of these cards will represent an area of life. Some will join together, some others won't. I'm not reading reversals, you may have noticed. I don't read reversals, and I'm also one of those weird and wonderful tarot readers who do not use the traditional meanings of the cards, mainly because I find them too morbid and too negative, if I'm being honest, in many ways. So let's have a look, see what's coming up. What was the previous year all about? And we have here the Knight of Cups. Knights are about action, so certainly we had to take a lot of action throughout 2020, didn't we? A lot of action. Sometimes it was inaction, and that we were stuck at home in many ways. But a lot of action, a lot of stuff going on. We had to make a lot of changes, whether that's in our personal lives, whether that was work-wise, business-wise, whatever it happened to be. There was a lot of action going on throughout 2020, and not all of it good. There's also a lot of action, social issues were coming to light which were good, such as Black Lives Matter, the situation in Hong Kong and other places around the world, China and so on. There's a lot of other things happening in USA with the presidency, the action that was taken there, which was turned out to be a hopefully better result. Although to be honest, with the last 4 years it's brought a lot of things to light which need to be worked on. So that presidency has served its purpose in that way as well. And there's been a lot of other things that have happened throughout the time, throughout 2020, where we've had to change our thinking. A lot of action has been taken in local communities, helping others. Charity work, volunteering work, community spirit has been stronger than ever. And I mean stronger than ever as in ever in the last 20, 30 years, 40 years. Because we used to have a lot of, excuse me, a lot of community spirit, and it faded away towards, after the Second World War. The 50s and 60s still had some community spirit, and it started to fade away into the 70s, 80s, 90s, and you didn't even know who your neighbour was. You know, I mean, I've lived in places, where I didn't know the names of my neighbours, or maybe saw them, in the street and said hello, good morning, and things like that. But I didn't know the names. I didn't know who they were. I didn't know when their birthdays were or anything along those lines. I didn't know who the visitors were, and all these kinds of things. You just didn't know your neighbours. This year has been a wake-up call, and we've taken action to get to know our neighbours, haven't we? So that was one of the good things. Obviously, the not so good action has been the regulations and everything that's hampered us, blocked us in many ways from enjoying ourselves more fully than we've been able to. You know, the pubs and clubs and cafes and restaurants and everything closing down, open up, closing down. We didn't know which way we were turning, left, right. Other places haven't been as affected as perhaps us here in UK, but everywhere has been affected in many different ways. This situation has been all over the world. It's not just been in one local area. Every single country in the world has been affected by the COVID situation in one way, shape or form, hasn't it? So that was the world that was. That was the year that was. It was all about action. And the main lessons that we've learned from that is the two. That's about making decisions. Two for me is about making decisions, which way we're going to go, what we're going to do, choices, what choices are we going to make. Not all those choices were good, not all those choices were bad. You know, in that kind of situation, whatever choice you've made or choices that you've made throughout 2020, some have worked out, some haven't. And you know that in yourselves, what has worked out and what hasn't. But it has been a time of choices as well. We've been choosing whether to support this cause or that cause. We've been choosing whether to obey or disobey. We've been choosing whether to be in support and cooperate or to be rebellious and do our own thing regardless. We've all made choices, haven't we? And we've had to make some really sad choices about staying away from loved ones because of the possibility of affecting them with the COVID-19 situation. We've had to make choices about loved ones, especially in care homes that we haven't been able to visit, either to stay away or to just visit them and see them through a window, things like that. We've had to make choices about touching other people, you know, outside our bubbles, not handshaking, not hugging and things like that. I think one of the things that most people miss is a good hug. So I think 2021 could well be a hugging year once things settle down a bit, you know, and the vaccines start taking hold and things like that. So there's been a lot of choices that we've made throughout the year, you know, and it has been a wake-up call. There's no doubt about that. What are we looking forward to? What are we looking forward to? We're looking forward to, here we've got the hanged woman, or that could be the hanged man. We're looking forward to being creative in our thinking. We're looking forward to not just hanging around, but moving forward. We're looking forward to getting out of this staleness, this stagnation that we've been put into through no fault of our own. It's beyond our control. No government's put us into the situation that we're in. They've had to make the same decisions that we've had to make, but on a larger scale, put it that way. Yeah, and the situation's been out of their control as much as it is out of our control. But we're looking forward now to using our out-of-the-box thinking to move forward, to change things around in our lives, to, you know, if it's in our personal lives, how are we going to meet up with others? We've started using that already with technology, with Zoom and FaceTime and things like that. But we're looking for more creative ways of meeting up with people in a physical sense outside in different bubbles and things like that. Or even, you know, still walking together in the park or spending time together outdoors but at a safe distance. So we've been creative in that way, and that'll continue, I think, into 2021, at least for the first half or so, maybe the first quarter or so, before we can start really sharing our lives together as we have been. We've been very creative in that way as well, and the governments different governments have come up with very creative ways, you know, to either control the virus or to help us live a life of some sort. You know, they've been doing their best. They've been hard pressed, but we're hoping to improve on that. And businesses are certainly thinking more creatively of how to move forward, going on. You know, I did make a video about this, or mention this in another video, that we could see a new way of shopping, for example, you know, where we will have a online and offline experience. And it's not really new, but it's maybe an extension of what's already there, because many people go to the shops, have a look around, and then go and buy it online. So that may be more of that in 2021 going forward, where the stores and the shops and so on, instead of closing down, become more like showrooms and become more like an experience where you can do your browsing, see what's on offer, and then go and have a cup of coffee and have the kids play in a play area and things like that. You know, I wouldn't be a bit surprised, as I mentioned in this other video that I did, that I wouldn't be a bit surprised if Amazon started opening up shops or stores, you know, to do exactly that, to let people see what's on offer and then order it and have it, you know, either in some cases, as is the case in like Argos, as we have here in UK, where you can go in, order something from a console, pick it up at the counter, or have it delivered to your home. Now, and you know, people will be looking towards that experience, have that expanded, to have that offline and online shopping experience, because there'll still be people who want to buy stuff in shops. There'll still be people who want to buy stuff online. But most people like to go into shops, go into town, into shops, and enjoy the browsing more than anything else. So there may be more of that. You know, perhaps I've just given someone an idea of it. You're welcome, you know. So it's going to be a creative way. So this is our hopes and dreams, if you like, for 2021, that we are more creative and we live more creative lives in that way, and we're not distracted by other situations or delayed by other situations which have been holding us back as they have been in 2020. Motivation, we have got the Queen of Wands. Queens are, they can be about patience, but they're also about looking ahead. So we are looking ahead into 2021. And the Queen of Wands obviously has a spiritual sense, you know, so perhaps quite a few of us will be getting into spiritual practices, looking forward in that way, you know, whether that's with yoga or meditation and other things like that. But the Queen of Wands is also someone who does look ahead and moves forward and takes action. So it could be an action year, however it's going to be steady action. Because like I said, patience is the overall key word for me for queens, all queens. They've been there, they've seen it, they know what to do. They don't need to be impulsive, they don't need to rush in, they don't need to jump in with both feet and act on an idea immediately. They can take the time to suss it out, they can take the time to research it and make an evaluation of it, see whether it's worthwhile pursuing or whether just to give it up altogether. You know, so patience and looking forward is going to be the motivation, I think, in 2021. We'll be more careful with what we do and how we move forward in our lives. And that's going to affect every single area of our lives, whether that's relationships, whether that's work, whether that's business, or whatever it happens to be. So patience and looking forward at the same time, moving forward steadily and not rushing in as perhaps we have been doing in the past. So barriers then, or obstacles, we have got the 7 of cups. Sevens for me is about experience, using your experience, gaining experience, learning new things. So for some, this could well be a barrier in the sense of you want to do things but you haven't got the knowledge yet, you haven't got the experience yet. 2021 is going to be a new experience for us all, because we haven't been in this situation before. We haven't come out of a pandemic like we're doing at this moment in time and moving into a new year in this kind of situation. We haven't experienced that before, so it's all a new experience. And for some, you know, that's still going to be a block in that way. It's still going to be an obstacle. I don't know if I've mentioned it, but I think many tarot readers and others are saying that by April, May time, you know, we should be in a much better place. Obviously, because of the vaccines and everything that are coming in, and maybe other regulations, easing of regulations and so on, we'll be in a much better place than where we are now currently. You know, things will move forward and we'll have to be patient, as I was saying before. We'll have to be patient with that. But this is a learning curve for us all. 2020 certainly has been a learning curve, and we are still learning. We don't know it all yet. This is not a time to be complacent. It's the time to continue to re-evaluate our lives, to look at where we're going, see what we want to do, plan ahead for the future, and gain the experience that we can in order to be able to move ahead when the green light does indeed get switched on and turn green. At the moment we're on a red light, and I feel over the next month or two we'll go into like an amber, and then we'll get the green light probably around springtime, as I said, April time, and things be a lot better rolling on towards the summer, because a lot of the vaccines, there'll be more vaccines coming out, and more vaccines are being developed right now for all those who have different kinds of conditions and so on, where the current vaccines may not be suitable. There'll be other vaccines coming out. There may even be like a situation that we've had with other diseases where young children and so on maybe get a jab or a pill or a gel of some kind, and it'll immunize them against COVID-19 and all its variations. And with adults, maybe we'll just need a booster jab every few years or something like that. It could well be, like with tetanus and stuff like that. We have booster jabs every 5-10 years, whatever it is. And could well be a new vaccine in that way that's been developed, a stronger vaccine, a much more improved vaccine in that sense, and that will help. Otherwise, if not, I'll just feel there is. I reckon that there's going to be some pills or gel, some kind of gel, maybe gel pill or whatever, it's going to come out. Instead of having to be jabbed in the arm, we can just take a couple of pills, and that does us, and that gives us the immunization that we need for the next 6 months, year, couple of years, whatever, and that could well be like a vaccination program for the children as well, so that they never get it, and then the body knows how to react to it. So there may well be things that we need to learn still as we go into 2021. We just need to have the patience to deal with these things and not allow them to overtake us in that way, not allow them to overwhelm us. So moving on then, we have relationships and emotions, and there certainly seems to be something new happening for quite a few people. This is new ideas, new concepts, new beginnings. And the Ace of Swords. And there's the Gemstone Tarot. She always wants to headbang this to Motorhead. I don't blame her. I can see that. And that's brilliant. But yeah, this is an epiphany, isn't it? This could be something that comes to light for many of you about a relationship, a new relationship, a current relationship, or how you feel about a certain situation. For many of you, this could well be getting involved with an issue, as in a good cause, maybe a charity, volunteering, or another kind of cause, a political, environmental, social cause, and that could be new ideas and concepts in that way for you. Your eyes are opening to the current situation in your area or other areas of the world, and you want to be involved with that. You want to do something, and that could be something that which will motivate you as well throughout 2021 and going forward. For others it could be maybe a new idea or concept when it comes to business, how to do your business, whether to take it fully online, whether to have, as I mentioned, have a bricks and mortar presence but also a very strong online presence, or whether you're thinking of a new idea to start a business, maybe in the service industry of some kind, maybe coaching, tarot reading, spiritual practice, yoga, meditation, all these kinds of things. Teaching, maybe you're going to teaching, all these kinds of things that you want to do or you feel the need to do. You'll be called to it. This is a new beginning for many people. You're going to be called to it, I feel, and it's going to be very emotional. It's going to get you in the heart. It's going to get you in the head as well. So it's both head and heart in balance, in coherence with each other. With careers and finances, going to be change. 5 is about change. This is like, for some people, this could be like a crossroads situation where they're going to have to choose which way they're going to go. Are they going to go back to their old way of working? Are they going to move forward? Or are they, progress further in their work? Or are they going to turn left or right, to a completely different situation altogether? For many of you, because of the situation that's been through 2020, you could well be changing jobs completely, going into a completely new sector, and that could well be where the experience may come in. You may feel that, well, I don't know anything about that sector, but you'll be learning, you'll be gaining experience, and you may well have to start lower down the rungs than perhaps you were in 2020, but you'll soon rise up again, using your past experience as well to the betterment. This could tie in also with this new idea, this new concept. It could be for a business. You could be changing the idea of working for someone else and deciding to go out on your own, maybe with something that you already know about, or something new that you are gaining experience about. But certainly in the workplace, for some of you, or for most of you, there's going to be change in relationships as well, how you view each other. It could be new relationships in that way, so it could be a change in relationships. It could be with friends and acquaintances, a change there as well. Maybe you're moving to a new area. That could also happen for quite a few of you. You say, oh, that's it, I'm not staying in this place anymore, I'm going to move to an area where the air is cleaner. That kind of situation. And you'll change in relationships in that way, because you'll meet new people, new neighbours and so on. So there's a lot of change coming up in 2021, I feel, on the personal as well as in the career and finances. For many, I feel that the finances are going to improve, and that's what I will say for 2021. For financial situations that are going to improve for a lot of people, because it has been really, really tight for many because of the work situation, business situation. But things are going to improve. It won't be right away. It won't be overnight. There'll be a gradual improvement, but there will be improvement, and by the end of the year you should be, if not back to where you were at the start of 2020, if not, if you were in a good place then, back to the good place that you were. It may even be a lot better as well. So certainly a lot of change is happening in 2021 where career and finance is concerned. Health wise, we've got here the Emperor. You can't get much better than that for health, can you? We're talking about power, authority, building, mastering, gaining mastery, steady, in control, focused. Okay, so for some of you, you may be focused on your health. You may have health issues that you're focusing on to improve. For others, you are maintaining your health, and you're in a very good position. You maybe started throughout 2020 to get into a healthy regime, fitness regime, and you're going to maintain that through 2021. And certainly in the first part, and maybe carry on, because you once you get into the habit of something, you want to continue with it, especially if it's benefiting you. So this is going to be, I think for most people, it's going to be a very beneficial year health-wise. There's going to be, perhaps you're going to get some training. A lot of you will be starting out in gyms, because the Emperor can also be like an authority figure. So it could be like a mentor or a trainer. Some of you may be able to afford personal trainers. No, I'm not advertising myself. Most definitely not. I mean, more one of the ones that needs one of those, to be honest. But you could be doing things like that, or taking control of your lives when it comes to health and fitness. Also, because of the corona situation, there will be changes. Obviously, as we know, changes there. You'll be getting healthier in that way as well, because of the vaccines and stuff that have been coming out, and the lifestyles that people are leading now, healthier lifestyle, realizing that perhaps they have been eating the wrong foods, well, say wrong, the wrong foods for them, foods that haven't been helpful, to moving into a healthier lifestyle, a fitter lifestyle, where you can really move forward in life and become something of an authority perhaps in that as well. For some of you, you may become trainers, personal trainers, fitness trainers, health coaches and things like that. That could also be linked in with the change here as well. You could become someone who's an authority, a go-to person when it comes to health and fitness. But certainly overall, health will improve, not just because of the vaccines, but also because, generally speaking, people will be wanting to improve their health and fitness to prevent them from getting affected by any kind of virus again. That kind of situation, that's the kind of thinking which will be going forward, because as we know, with the virus, it attacked people with underlying health conditions as well. So people will be looking out to improve their health and fitness, and that's a very, very good thing to stick to throughout 2021 if you haven't already started it. Spiritually, we are looking at the 9 of Cups. So cups are about emotions. A lot of you will be going into spiritual practices and enjoying it and teaching it and sharing it with others, improving your overall life through these spiritual practices. You'll be thinking new thoughts, investigating and researching new ideas. You're not necessarily going to be teaching them or sharing them. Maybe for some of you it'll be just for your own personal benefit. You could be meditating more, doing yoga, or going on to other spiritual healing practices like Reiki, Qigong, Feng Shui. I think there's going to be a rise in practices which come from the East. Traditionally, come from the East, like Reiki, like Feng Shui, and so there'll be a lot of like Kundalini and chakra cleansing and things like that. I can feel that is going to be increasing throughout 2021, because that's to do with health as well. That's in line with mental health, emotional health, spiritual health. So as well as the physical side of things. So people will be looking more into that, into looking for life coaches, looking for health coaches, fitness coaches and things like that. So they want that overall holistic health or healthy feeling. So a lot of people will be looking into that, and if that's you, well done. That's an excellent idea to do that, because it's important. If you're happy and healthy, you've got less chance of any diseases and things affecting you, because your body will be generating the antibodies and the defenses that it needs to fight these diseases off. It's only when you become fearful, worried, anxious, full of stress, and this has been scientifically proved as well, that these diseases have a greater hold on you, like the cancers, like the COVID, like pneumonia, like whatever disease, virus, whatever. They get a bigger hold, a more firmer hold, when you are mentally and emotionally at a low ebb. Okay, so work on that, guys. Get your mental, emotional, physical, spiritual health in top notch throughout 2021. That's a very, very excellent idea, I feel. Areas to focus on throughout 2021 ties in really with what we've just been talking about, the spiritual side. For many of you, you'll be focusing on your intuition. That's what the high priest is, or high priestess, is about. Intuition, the mysterious side of things. So many of you will be looking into the unknown, looking into new practices, perhaps looking at ways to develop your intuition. And I've been doing that throughout 2020, and I'll carry that on throughout 2021 to help to further develop my intuition, especially with reading tarot and coaching and things like that. Excuse me. So this 2021 gives us the chance to do that even further, to go deeper into that. Many of you have already started along that road. Carry it on, continue with it throughout 2021, whether it's just for personal use, if you like, for personal benefit, or whether you want to do that so you can help others to benefit them, and to help them benefit themselves in that way, to teach them how to do it. It's not all about money, it's about helping others to greatly improve their lives as well. So don't monetize it if you don't need to, or don't do it just for the money. Okay, that's my little, let's say, word of warning, if you like, because if you do it just for the money, then you lose out. It's as simple as that. Do it with a genuine compassion, with a genuine idea, feeling, emotion to help others. But it has to start with you first. You can only help others if you help yourself first. So focus on your intuition throughout 2021 if you haven't already started doing so. And can help you in other areas as well, guys. Because intuition isn't just all spiritual stuff. This can help you in your normal everyday life as well. If you know something's off, then you're not going to go near it, are you? If you know someone's lying to you, you're going to call them out, aren't you? You'll know that. If you know someone's trying to pull a wool over your eyes, you're going to avoid them, aren't you? Useful stuff, intuition. Useful stuff. Okay, so the most important lesson for the coming year. This is an interesting one. Yeah, here we go. Very interesting one. This is going to be the watchword, the key word for the year. 6 is about perseverance. You say, oh no, that's what I've been doing. Yes, you have been persevering throughout 2020. You have been sticking it out. But 2021 is about perseverance as well. Sticking to your goals, sticking to your dreams. You've got the 6 of Pentacles here. Traditionally, this means balance, doesn't it? Balance in finances and things like that. And some call it the have and have-nots. Being generous when you've got the money, and putting out your hand when you haven't. That kind of situation. But this is sticking to what you know. Sticking to your training, sticking to learning more, sticking to your goals, sticking to your dreams. Being consistent and persistent throughout 2021 in a positive way. 2020 was about sticking things out, being persevering and so on, I would say in a negative way because of the situation. This is different. This is moving forward into a much better future, and you've got to stick with it, because if you give up at the first hurdle, you're never going to get anywhere, are you? Even if it's a second or third hurdle, you've got to complete the race if you want to get the prize. It's as simple as that. And if you set yourself big, massive, hairy-ass goals and only focus on the end, you could have some difficulties, because you need also to focus on what you need to do to get there. Yes, keep the end goal in mind, visualize it and so on, see yourself there completing it, but don't forget the steps that you need to do to get there. I think that's where many people kind of fall down when they're pursuing their goals and their dreams and so on, in that they forget about the steps that they have to take. They see themselves crossing the river but forget about the stepping stones and end up half drowning in the fast flowing water, because they haven't been focusing on the step by step. That doesn't mean to say that you've got to focus on all the nitty gritty details, because you don't. You just know what you have to do to complete one step and focus on that one step, and then move forward to the next step. Complete a step, celebrate, move forward. Complete a step, celebrate, move forward. And then before you know it, you've reached the other side. That's how you do it. A baby doesn't get up and start running straight away, does he? Or she. They do it. They take a couple of steps, fall down. Get up, take a couple of steps, fall down. Get up, take a couple of steps, fall down. Hang on to something, take a rest, take a couple of steps. And then before you know it, they're running all over the house and you're chasing them. They're into everything. You're locking all the doors and the cupboards and the things. But You've got to take it step by step, and the only way to do that is to persevere with it. The end goal is what keeps you motivated. That's your why. That's the reason why you're taking all these steps to get there, why you're sticking it out, why you're persevering. You want to get through 2021 and come out much better than what you went in. So this time next year, you want to be able to look back over 2021 and say, wow, that was a brilliant year. And you'll only be able to do that if you stick with what it is you've got planned to move forward. Okay, so stick it out, persevere, guys, persevere. Still going to be tough for some people. I realise that it's not going to be easy peasy lemon squeezy. There's still going to be a lot of obstacles, a lot of barriers and so on that need to be overcome, need to be worked through, navigated and so on. But you will get there if you stick it out, if you persevere. Your overall direction then, guys, is 3. 3 of Pentacles in this case. 3 is creativity, thinking outside of the box. Okay, this is the way forward, is to do things differently. Don't do the same old, same old. If you've been setting goals, as example, just to tie in with that, if you've been setting goals for yourself and not achieving them, and you keep setting goals and you're not achieving them, and you keep setting goals and you're not achieving them, have you stopped to ask why? What do you need to do differently? Really evaluate what it is that you need to do differently in 2021 that you did in 2020 or in 2019 or 2018 or in 1972. If you are still missing the mark when it comes to your goals, if you're still not achieving the things that you want to achieve, then ask yourself why. If you still haven't found that person that is your soulmate, ask yourself why. Are you focusing too hard? Are you being too expectant? Are you being needy? Do you look desperate when you look at a person of the opposite or same sex, whatever it is your desire is? Do you look so desperate that it puts people off? Or are you willing to let all that go? And let's see what happens when you do. Focus on yourself. Focus on building yourself up, making yourself more attractive to yourself. Love and accept yourself. Forgive yourself. Move forward in that way and see what happens. In your business, are you still putting in practices that your great-grandfather used? Or have you moved? Have you moved forward with the times? Traditional businesses use traditional methods, but they can also use them in a modern way. You can still be traditional in the 21st century style. Whether that's using technology, whether that's using online, as well as bricks and mortar and things like that, as I mentioned before. Yes, there's certain things that you can't change. I mean, for example, if you're a butcher, there's only certain ways that you can cut meat up, slice the meat and so on. Well, perhaps you can improve the tools, but in certain ways. But what about presentation? What about advertising? What about presenting yourself as an independent butcher, organic farmer, or grocer, greengrocer, shopkeeper, jewellery maker, fashion designer? You get where I'm coming from? Think outside the box. What do you need to do to stand outside of your competitors? Stand above your competitors? What do you need to do to be the purple cow? There's a book out, isn't it, called The Purple Cow. It's about marketing. I think it's an old book. I think it came out in the 80s and 90s, something like that. But it's about standing out. What do you need to do to be different? Do you perhaps, instead of copying other people or trying to be other people, do you need to be yourself? Be genuine, authentic. Just be you. That's what I discovered, especially throughout 2020. I always thought I was pretty much myself, and yes, I always have been. but I still find myself from time to time trying to be someone else, trying to copy their methods of doing things, and trying to be them, compare myself to them, and so on. There's no need to. Just be yourself, guys. Just be yourself. Be authentic. It's as simple as that. So change the way you look at things. Change your perspectives, whether that's in the workplace. As an example, you may well be in a job if that you've managed to keep, or you've gone back to, that is mundane. Well, what can you do to liven things up? How can you view it to make it a bit more palatable or palatable, whatever way you want to put it? How can you improve your view of the workplace, or what it is you do? And that would mean a change in thinking, a change of perspective, a change of looking at it, viewing it, knowing that yes, it's work that you're doing right now, but maybe you can plan for something better. But at the moment, you stay where you are right now because it pays the bills. What's to stop you from doing something on the side, like a side hustle? I know that some employers have it in their contracts that you're not allowed to, and so on, which I certainly think is disgusting. But even if they do, there's still other ways. It won't affect your work. As long as your work that you do now isn't affected, and you're still doing a good job, and your employer is happy with you, there's nothing stopping you from looking elsewhere. Because you can take your skills that you're learning right now and take them elsewhere. Be the best employee that you can be. Be the one that the boss doesn't want to get rid of. You may change things within your workplace. You may get a raise, you may get a promotion, and make that work then a much better workplace, much more enjoyable. Or other opportunities will come up. You'll be able to move elsewhere. But in the meantime, just change your view, change your perspective, think outside the box. What else can you do to improve your work situation? If not your current job, then you're certainly your work situation. And that goes for all areas of life, guys. So this is the key word, another key word if you like, along with perseverance: creativity, thinking outside the box. So that is 2021, I think, in a nutshell. Persevere and think outside the box. Think outside the box, persevere with it. Get my drift? So that is the year that was and the year that is to come. I hope you enjoyed that, guys. I think I went on a little bit longer than I intended. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and if you did, leave me a comment. Let me know what your views are. How does this resonate with you? Do you think it could be something that I could do on a more regular basis, maybe a 3-month or a 6-month overview or something along those lines, and not just a 12-month? This is just a very general reading for the whole year. Well, I hope you enjoyed it, guys. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye bye now.